Okay, so a lot of times we see topics where people are definitely at odds, and there's a lot of those topics going on. But a lot of times, what do we see? We see people asking disingenuous questions only to be more inflammatory on the topic. Black Lives Matter, something happens, and then somebody, where's Black Lives Matter? Or if it's a women's right, where's so and so? Or how come this didn't happen? Or if it was men, blah, blah, blah. We all know it. We all know the talking points, and we all know how jaded people can be. So the question is that what we want to ask ourselves is, when we're entering into these topics, are we doing it in good faith, and are we looking for solution? So therefore, when you come to a fire, are you bringing water or gas? What's your solution? Are you trying to put the fire out by saying, look, I understand, I can hear what you're saying, I can, agree with some of that, but this is where I'm coming from? Or are we throwing gas on it just by throwing out the most disingenuous angle that we can and trying to still project rather than reflect? I'm sure a lot of you have seen that video, but what are we doing when it comes to that? And what's the long-term solution for gasoline? Just to infuriate more people, to keep that going? Because we are an ambassador of our position. We are of our demographic as well. So anytime we enter into that, yes, while you may be just poking the bear at one person, it also gives other people cause to say, well, wow, if this is how, a particular person thinks, then I may just take that one sample and go with it. So a lot of times we have to have more responsibility with the words that we choose. And I understand in this day and age, the internet is a very savage place, and people can hide behind keyboards and anonymity and things like that. But we still have to think better. For those of us who are willing to put our name, our face, and a real opinion out there, we have to not only be able to talk down those points and say they don't represent us all, but we also have to answer other people's questions. Sometimes if we're not sure that they are being genuine or not, ask them to elaborate on it. What exactly do you mean? Therefore, you can go moving forward and say, okay, I understand that you're asking real questions. Maybe I took it wrong the first time. We all do, because text messaging or things in text don't have the emotion. They don't have an inflection of voice. They don't have the things that would give us cues socially in communication to say, okay, I can answer your question and I understand where you're coming from. So a lot of times, ask before you leap to the conclusion. I tell people all the time, if I'm in debate or at odds with them, ask the source. Don't tell me what I'm doing. Ask me what my intent was. You have the source in front of you. And we do this with everything else. We will go to a source. If we need to know about our car, we go to a mechanic. If we need to know about a restaurant, we will look up, reviews. We do the research. Ask the source right in front of you sometimes. But a lot of times when we're at odds, we don't want to. We want our confirmed biases to make sure that we are correct and that we're right in our minds. And that's not an effective way to communicate. So guys, when you see that fire and you are going to enter into it, when it comes to these topics, bring water, not gas. Try to put these fires out by allowing people to see a more clear and rational state of being, state of mind, and then they can therefore say, okay, I can let my guard down a little bit. And maybe they won't, but you become a better ambassador. You become a better person for taking that road less traveled, as far as not just willing to jump in, make your anecdotal statements, and hope that that's enough to talk somebody off of their point. It's not, and we've all been on both sides of it, so we know how that works. Bring water, not gas. What do you think? Leave me your comments, your ace up the sleeve in the comments. Would love to hear from you. Advice, comment, experience. And as always, please like, even if you dislike, I won't be mad at you, but let's get those buttons pushed. Please hit the subscription. You are invited to the channel if you are new to it. And I will see you guys very soon. Peace, love, unity, solidarity.